Hi, College for Kids families. My name is Susie Green, and I am the director for the College for Kids program. I am the person who can help you through today through the summer. And right now, I'm going to walk you through the registration form so that you can get a little head start as to what that looks like so that you can be prepared. So we're going to take just a moment to start here at the College for Kids website. I'm going to click myself out of here. As I've expressed in the other videos I have done, we have several items on this website. We have our registration guide, which hopefully you've had a chance to look at, our registration form, which I'll talk through, our course catalog, our acceptable usage policy for technology, which I'll talk about also, and our Iowa City bus transportation option, which is a great option for students coming from Iowa City. Rather than clicking on this link right now, I'll show you right now. If you click on the registration form link right now, you're going to see this message, which indicates that registration is not open until March 1st at 6 o'clock a.m. I'm going to take you in a back door, so to speak, and show you this registration form, what it looks like, so you know what you're going to be looking at 6 o'clock in the morning when you have your coffee in front of you and you might still be wearing your pajamas. First of all, what I recommend is that before you get to this moment that you take a look at the registration guide and the course catalog. And if you haven't looked at the video about the course catalog, I highly recommend you do that. And I highly recommend that with your child, you complete the worksheet at the end of the course catalog so that you have a nice list of courses from which to choose. This registration form is broken into 7 sections. They are all quite simple and pretty straightforward, but I will walk you through them anyway. Once you have completed this entire form and clicked submit, you will receive an email, which I'll talk about towards the end of this presentation. And then you will also receive about 4 weeks out from submitting this form, crossing my fingers, you will all receive a copy of your student's class schedule in your inbox. So that's a new thing for us. We're going to hopefully make that all come to be. So in section 1 here, this is just student and parent information. You can see it's all very straightforward. Names, grade, gender, t-shirt size, just general contact information. You can indicate here if you're interested in carpooling. We really appreciate if you can let us know any health conditions that we should be aware of. We ask that you indicate school district, and you can see here that once you select a school district, for instance, I'm going to just select Cedar Rapids, then it will populate the schools for Cedar Rapids. Until you select the district, it won't populate the schools. So make sure you do that part first. Then once we get to section 2, this is where you're going to select your session. So whether your child is coming to the June session or the July session. You may select both if you'd like to. So right over here in the far left, you'll check these boxes, one or both, either or, whatever your preference is. And then if you're opting to do the early bird class, you're going to make that checkbox here. And then you'll also make your early bird class selection here. You'll see this little pick course button. And then here's where you make that selection. So let's say you wanted crash course on Western art as your first option. And then if that one's already full, your backup choice would be Poetry Cafe. If you were also doing that in the July session, you would repeat that process. So you see how that is done there. And you see here that total payment is calculated for you. Then we go on to section 3, where you're doing your course preferences. This is where it gets really exciting, and I know a little stressful for families, but it's not as bad as it seems. A lot of work can be done behind the scenes too. But what you'll do is you'll see, okay, I selected June or I selected July. You figure out which session you selected, and you look for the corresponding correct table down below, and you're going to start picking your courses. Very fun. If you have your little worksheet you did already, you'll look at that and you'll start selecting those courses. Let's say you want archaeology and you want exploring geometry and you want chemistry, and then you go, oh wait, I didn't want chemistry. You have the option to delete. You say, okay, that's a new thing for us this year, which makes me extremely happy. You may be going along and you look for a course and you don't see it. You'll notice here, I just want to get out of this for a second, in this red text, courses listed in the catalog but not found via the pick course button below are already full or are no longer available. So just be prepared for that. It's just life. Sometimes things are either full or something has happened with one of our instructors and there's been a change. So sometimes those things happen. So if you're prepared for that with some backup options, that is ideal. When registering for both sessions, you may repeat some, but not all of your course options in both tables. I will figure out your final schedule and I'll make sure that there is no duplication in the end. So if you don't repeat all of your courses, that's advantageous. So whatever you can do there to make that easier for me and helpful for you, we can make it all work out. The other thing is, if you wanted to pick something and you saw this red message and your course is not available, there is a spot at the very end of the form I'll show you where you can let me know you want to be put on a waiting list. And I'll talk about that here in a moment. So let's say we've got through this very stressful section, section 3. We're going to move on to section 4. This is optional. This is where you can indicate a video photo release for your child. I will let you know that this gives us permission to include your child in the large group photo, and kids love that, being a part of that. So if you give permission for that, I would go ahead and check that box and put your initials down. If you don't want to be part of that photo, then again, you've got that option to opt out of that. Section 5 is just our standard release and waiver of liability. This is a required section. Section 6 is our technology usage policy. This is also required, and we request a parent and guardian initial and also a student initial. And I'm going to just click back for just a moment. This is where that policy can be found, is on our website. Then in section 7, we just have our standard registration agreement that you understand that we need your payment and that you understand that you can do a cancellation through May 15th. Okay, so then here's the magic box highlighted in blue. This is where you can tell me that you want to be put on a waiting list. You can also request, though I cannot guarantee, but you can request that you want to be with a friend. You can tell me that your child was recently diagnosed with diabetes. You can tell me their grandpa will be the one picking them up at the end of the morning. You can tell me just about anything, and I will get that message and we'll try to channel that to the right place. But that's where you want to tell me any message you can, and I'll get that information out. Okay, so then once you're done with the entire form, all 7 sections, you're going to click this register button. And as this message indicates right here, you will receive an email right away that says, registration received, College for Kids 2019. I don't want you to hit a back button or anything. Just wait for that email to come. Once that email comes, you'll receive in that email instructions for how to pay. So as you notice, you didn't make any payment on this registration form. You just gave us all of your information, you clicked register, and then once that email comes, that's where that payment information will come to you, and you can pay from that email. We are requesting that all payments be received by April 15th. If you need any kind of extension on that, if you, whatever your situation is, if April 15th is difficult for you, please let me know right away and we'll try to get something figured out. But our goal is April 15th. And then again, that cancellation date must be by May 15th.